Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. On this channel I talk about fragrance, skincare, fashion, and the finer things in life. And today I have 9 fragrances in front of me. This is a list made up of powdery fragrances in my collection. If you want to know the powdery fragrances that I picked for you today, please don't go anywhere. Moving on to the first fragrance on my list, that's going to be from the brand called Etat Libre, and this fragrance is called Putain de Palace. Putain de Palace means escort, and I love the name a lot because I believe sex work is real work. So, unions, sex worker unions, their rights, their health, their security are very important and should be protected by laws. Money is power. Sex is power, and if you're exchanging these two, you're not doing anything illegal. So, that being said, we are moving on to Putain de Palace. So, when I saw the name, I said, oh, I have to have this fragrance, which I did. It piqued my attention by its name, but she stayed here thanks to its smell. So this is going to be the scent of the day today for me, and let me get that a little here and here. This is a 10 ml travel size, but I'm going to be moving on to a larger bottle as well because this is something actually I use in my daily life. This is a dynamic, I think young, sexy, and at the same time clean and fresh powdery fragrance. I love this a lot actually. I think this is 7/24, 24/7, 365, winter, summer, boy, girl, day, night, wherever, whenever fragrance. I love the opening. It's a little floral. It's spicier, but it's also very powdery, violety. And as this dries down, I'm getting some sort of like sensual white musk and like some leathery touches that makes it so sexy. It's like, you know, I mentioned this a lot, you know, your bedding, your sheets, you know, if you sleep in them for a month or so and it becomes your smell, like the human smell, I'm getting that as this fragrance dries down, which I'm living for actually. This is not a performance piece or very aggressive or very invasive when you walk into a room. However, this sits close to your skin, but she sits there. She's there, and someone comes closer to you, they will be feeling this fragrance. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know Narciso Rodriguez for her line, for her Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, and Fleur Musk. You know what? I used them. I actually finished up a whole bottle of Fleur Musk, which I find very intoxicating at the opening, but I think, in my opinion, Fleur Musk is having some sort of performance issues. However, I got tons of compliments wearing Fleur Musk. People around me said that that was intoxicating. You know what? I don't own for her line anymore because this is everything that I'm looking for in that line and more, because this has the niche touches to that powdery musky feeling, and it just more personable. I like myself better when I wear this instead of for her ED Pure Fleur Musk. So if you are looking for a sexy, daily wear friendly, long lasting but not invasive, like radiating, powdery, floral, feminine fragrance, give this a try. This is Etat Libre d'Orange Putain de Palace. Alright, so we are going to be moving on to the second and the third fragrance on my list, and those are going to be Creed, Love in Black, and Guerlain, Insolence. Now, these are violet fragrances actually, so these are violet fragrances with powdery characteristic to them, and also, of course, these two have the makeupy vibes that I'm loving for. So, remember these when I take them out again in front of the camera. Now, let's look into this makeup product called Guerlain Meteorites or Guerlain Meteorite, if we want to say it French. So I have here is number 4 in Doré Golden. So I'm going to show you this and try to show you. And as you can see, I hit the pen on this powder, which is rare. I'm loving this finishing powder. If you like my face today, I'm wearing this on top of a really light foundation. This gives that, you know, daylight, uniform shine to my face, which I'm living for. And this has that really unique, characteristic meteorite smell to it, which I like a lot, that makeup powder violet scent. And these two gives a similar vibe to this fragrance in this Guerlain meteorite powder. And to be honest, as this one dries down, not the opening, it resembles more to this meteorite compact powder than Guerlain Insolence itself. So, I don't think you need both. The price gap between these two is actually large. This is more expensive. So if you want a violet fragrance that is powdery and it has the makeup smell to it, but if you want to stay in the designer world, I think you should go for Guerlain Insolence or de Parfum. However, if you want your powdery violet fragrance with a more fruity, like a watermelon or blackberry opening, and as that dry down, if you want something more lush, dewy, like a wet, kind of like violety, powdery, dry down, go for this one. These two does not give the best performance on my skin. However, when I tried them on a clothing, this gives a better performance. I feel it at the end of the day. However, this might need some touch-ups. However, again, I like the smell. Violet powders, makeup, Guerlain meteorite. If you are living in that world, you have to be checking these two fragrances, Guerlain Insolence or de Parfum, Creed, Lavin, Black or de Parfum. Alright, so we are moving on to the fourth and the fifth fragrance. I have mentioned these two fragrances before on my channel. It's going to be up here or down in the description box. For me, these are cult fragrances. They have their own space in my collection. First of both would be the Yves Saint Laurent Rive Gauche, and the other one would be no other than Best Dior Homme Intense. Let's start with this one. I talked about this in my sexy men fragrances. This is completely unisex. This is the best thing François de Marchi has ever done in his entire life, in my humble opinion. This might be the best Dior release of all time. That powdery irisy makeup touch in a male scent fragrance, poof, groundbreaking. I mean, this is everything you're looking for and more. When I described this fragrance, I said that, you know, I will be visiting all of the male viewers in their bedroom and I'm gonna see if they have Dior Homme Intense or not. They do. They love this fragrance as well, which is good news. And women out there, if you're watching this, if you're into floral fragrances, if you're into iris, powdery fragrances, but if you want a little kick to your fragrance, and if you want to transition to the unisex world, go to unisex designer world with Christian Dior Eau de Parfum Intense. Words cannot describe. Alright, another fragrance that I'm living for, in my opinion, it is the best thing Yves Saint Laurent has ever done in the company's life, in my opinion, is Yves Saint Laurent Rive Gauche Parfum. Parfum version discontinued. It was exceptional as well. I had bottles, but I used them up so stupidly. Now I'm continuing my journey with Rive Gauche. This is, one of my viewers described this as like, you know, metallic powder cloud all around you. Metallic, aldehydic powder cloud. I think this is just the perfect explanation for this one. Long-lasting, vintage vibes, aldehydes, powder, class, artsy. Oof, so good. This is making such a statement. It's just you want to be hanging out with that person wearing this fragrance. Go check this one out. I'm going to back this up. Actually, this is a 50 ml bottle. I think I'm just going to get two 3.4 ounces bottle as well, just to be on the safe side. I don't want them to discontinue this ever. Best Yves Saint Laurent in my opinion. Alright, so now we're going to be moving on to Frédéric Malle, Édition de Parfum Frédéric Malle. However, I'm not going to be talking about Putain, which is a great powdery fragrance. I cannot tell enough of that fragrance. However, it's everywhere here on YouTube. It's everywhere on Fragrantica. Tons of reviews. They are all right. They make sense. It's a great fragrance. And if you want floral fragrances, clean vibes, go for it. Putain from Frédéric Malle. Very great choice. However, today I'm going to be mentioning a fragrance, in my opinion, that was outshone or outshined by Putain, and that fragrance is Dans tes bras, in your arms, kind of like here. So let me just, you know what? I'm gonna spray this here. Now we have two fragrances in front of me. Oh, this is fresh. The opening is fresh, kind of like woody, piney. At the same time, a little spicy, but as this dries down, this becomes so cozy. It's like, you know, you're hugging someone that they want to, like, you know, convey in the name here as well, Dans tes bras. So inoffensive, so welcoming, completely unisex, and especially if you are into fresh fragrances, fresh, clean smelling fragrances. But if you still want to keep that powdery, woody, kind of like green vibe in your fragrance, please go check this one out. This is from Maurice Rossel, Frédéric Malle, Édition de Parfum, Dans tes bras. Great release from Frédéric Malle. Fresh, powdery, a little piney green woody fragrance that I'm living for. So actually, I'm always showing Frédéric Malle in these 10 ml travel sizes because I'm not really commenting the full bottles from Frédéric Malle for two reasons. One of them is that I am not fully satisfied with the performances in Frédéric Malle's. I'm not saying that they are bad. It's just that, you know, with that price, I cannot justify. And on top of it, I find the presentation so ugly, but it's entirely my problem. It's my prejudice. But when I spend that much money on a presentation that I perceive to be not attractive, and when I don't see the performance I'm looking for, but I'm only loving the quality of the scent, I think my best choice is to go for such a travel size. I showed you one of these that I have as well, Musc Ravageur, which is a great fragrance as well. You can check that one as well. But for now, for Frédéric Malle, I'm moving my journey with these 10 ml travel size. Alright, this list cannot be complete without Parfum de Malle, of course. Delina being the best Parfum de Malle of all times, in my opinion. On the second spot, we have Castelli that will be visiting my channel very soon. However, we are talking about Athalia today. That mature, older sister. Let's just give her a go here. This is Parfum de Malle's take on powdery florals with like makeup-y vibes. I'm getting a little orange blossom here, but I might be hallucinating. I don't know. This is dynamic, but still this is, I think, older than Delina and Castelli. Maybe this is more suitable for 30 and above. In my opinion, completely unisex. Some can find this a little stagnant, a little grandma-ish, which I'm living for, because it's still dynamic and sexy. Performance is not as good as Delina or Castelli, but if you like Parfum de Malle, like this person does here, go check this one out. Not bad at all. Parfum de Malle always giving out quality scents to us, and this is not an exception in my opinion. This is Athalia in the black presentation. Alright. Second to last fragrance is a fragrance that I have mentioned before as well in my man-eater niche fragrances. This is from Nasomatto, 30 ml Extrait de Parfum concentration, and this is called China White. So some say this smells like pure white cocaine. Yours truly here have not had the chance to smell or experience that, maybe luckily. And some say it does not. However, to me, it does smell like a powdery, fragrance that is dynamic, young, and sexy. Woody, floral, powdery fragrance. Very long lasting. She does sit on your skin for 6 to 8 hours very prominently. You don't have the monster sillage you're looking for, therefore this can be a very nice 24/7, 365, anywhere, wherever. Men, women scent, and this is very sexy in my opinion. If you tell me that, I want a floral fragrance that has a sensual kick to it and it's also sexy and kind of like arousing, to me that answer is given by Nasomatto in a bottle called China White in this 30 ml Extrait de Parfum presentation. Go check this one out. It might be a little expensive considering the small volume we have here, but in my opinion, totally worth it. Alright, so the last fragrance on my list is a fragrance that I have dedicated a private, one and only, exclusive video to, and that is Roja A Goodnight Kiss. So, I'm gonna show you the fragrance, but every time you see Roja, you just tell yourself, you don't need Roja. I don't need Roja in my life. My life is still complete without a Roja Parfum fragrance. Or, if I don't have Roja Parfum, I'm still fine. I'm still happy. And I should never max out my credit card like the person I'm watching has done, because that is not a smart move. So, that being said, in my opinion, this is the best powdery floral fragrance, aldehyde sparkly makeup-y vibe fragrance on the market right now. I think this is what happens if you give a perfumer unlimited budget, and if you never restrain their creativity, you end up with something like so here. I think this is great. I cherish this fragrance so much. I'm so in love with it. I talked about this in that video. Please go check the upper card or the down in the description. This is great. I think Roja is one of the best works in my opinion. Some can find this to be very simplistic, like powdery, talky, baby powder scent. To me, it's not. To me, as this dries down, this is giving me that human musk, smell. I guess due to the real ambergris he incorporated in this thing with iris and the rice powder accord. I think this is a great fragrance. If you want quality in a bottle, if finances are not the problem or like the limiting bottleneck, you can go for this one and be done with all the powdery florals on the market, in my opinion. Alright, so let me take a quick sip and then let's finish the video. We talked about powdery fragrances in my collection, 9 of them. There is one, Tenderness, which is said to be the reference in the powdery fragrance area, which I don't have it right now because I've been just exposed to that fragrance recently, and I'm gonna buy that and I'm gonna review that as well in the future on my channel. However, for now, please let me know your favorite powdery florals, powdery woody, or powdery scents, iris scents in the description box. Let's keep the discussion going down there. For now, thank you so much for watching. More importantly, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I can't wait to see you at the next one. Take care, everyone.